Welcome back to a very special episode of the It Starts With You podcast, where I have, in my humble and biased opinion, one of my favorite guests, my son, Sawyer Menden. Sawyer, you want to say hello?
Hi.
So here I am at the office recording podcast episodes today, having some guest episodes, and I have been wanting to get this little guy on the podcast for a while. And so we decided to hop on here for a little impromptu mini episode to talk a little bit about mindset and some of the things that Sawyer and I talk about and that helps him. So, buddy, first of all, can you tell everyone how old you are?
I'm 9.
9. And we talk about mindset a lot in our household, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. First of all, of course, Mom loves to talk about it. We're both business owners in our house, and so it's really important for us to me and Dad. You're a little mini business owner, right? And so we talk about mindset a lot when it comes to work and schoolwork and sports. And so right before this, you and I were just talking about what is it called? A super skill that you just learned about?
Uh-huh.
A super skill. So can you share with us what it was that you just learned?
Don't forget the yet.
What does that mean?
It's like if you are have a big dream that you want to, like, let's say, become a police officer, but you failed your test to become a police officer. Always remember, don't forget the yet. Like, I can't become a police officer yet.
That is such a good tip. Is there any way that you can use this?
Well, like, because I'm doing an art project, crocheting, and I can't figure out a part. So I can't figure out this part yet.
I love that. That's such a good example because we can be really hard on ourselves, right? And think that we're supposed to know everything right away. So instead of getting frustrated and saying, I'm never going to get this, we say, don't forget the yet. That is a really good reminder for all of you listening, because I know many of you listening are high achievers and you want to have it all figured out. You want that goal, you want the next job, you want the next thing. But if we take Sawyer's advice that he just learned, is don't forget the yet. Okay, we were also talking a little bit about focus and about like how to focus and what our goals. Is there anything that you wanted to share with our listeners around that?
If you focus, you can achieve your goals faster than before. If you fail, your brain grows more and more.
What? How does that work? How does that happen? So if we focus on our goals and if we fail, why do you think failure helps us grow?
Because you learn, like, even though you got it wrong, you like tried, and if you look at it from different angles, you can see some parts that might have like looked different, like maybe on an art project, a part that didn't look like maybe, let's say, yourself when you were doing a self-portrait, and a part didn't look like you, and then next time you get that part right, but then when you go ahead, you get that part right. You keep stepping it up one step at a time, like stepping up the stairs, one at a time, till you get to the top.
Dude, that is such a great analogy, buddy. Do you know what an analogy is?
Mm-mm.
An analogy where you just took an idea and you compared it to like something else, like stepping towards your goals is like stepping up the stairs. That's an analogy. And that was such a good visual for people. So it's like if you're trying something and you quote unquote mess up, or if you don't get it right and you keep trying, you learn and you keep getting better and better. That is such good advice. And we all, kids and adults, need that advice, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
That is so, I'm going to think about that too, because you know what? Sometimes I can be hard on myself and I'm like, oh, I should have had it all figured out right away. right? What happens if we're trying to do something and it doesn't go our way and we just keep going, I'm never going to get it? Does it help us?
Mm-mm.
No.
Because what you tell yourself comes reality.
What you tell yourself becomes real. Where'd you learn that? Did I help you with that?
Mm-mm.
No, you learned it all on your own?
Mm-hmm.
We talk about mindset a lot, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
very important. We talk about it with sports, we talk about it with school, we talk about it with work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, those are really great tips that you shared with any. Is there anything else? Any other tips? If not, that's okay. Is there any other tips or thoughts that you want to share with listeners around goals or trying things? Anything else?
This thing's pretty simple, but it does a lot. I think just remember, just don't ever let your goal slip away. Don't forget about your goal. Remember, your goal is possible if you believe it is.
That is so good. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, anything else you want to leave the listeners with?
Well, just remember and believe in yourself.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for joining us on the episode today and giving me and all those listeners those great mindset tips, buddy. Bye.
Bye. See you next time.